सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धोभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं परमानन्दमाधवम्। Hare Krishna. Very happy to be with all of you once again for yet another chapter. So we have very successfully completed the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, and the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is called as Karma Yoga section. So one section is done. So now we are entering into the cream biscuit section. Yes, that last time that was a name that was given to this, the cream of the biscuit. Similarly, the Bhakti Yoga is called the very cream of the Bhagavad Gita. So we are in that section, and I can see your wonderful faces. You have so much of energy, all of you. Yeah, some of them are turned on videos, others are considering. Yes, Prabhuji bolenge to karenge, varna nahi. Varna will stay hidden. Chupe Rustam. Okay, don't be chupa Rustam. Be very transparent with Krishna. Okay, so 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now, if you see, the shloka that I'm about to show is a verse that Srila Prabhupada practically discussed in 35 of his lectures. There is no shloka that has been given so much of importance. There is no shloka which Srila Prabhupada in his lifetime discussed so many times as much as this shloka. Can you guess which is that shloka? 7th chapter to obviously ho gaya. Shloka number? Guessing? Anyone would like to guess? My chats are disabled. Okay, we'll enable the chat. Don't worry. बताइए आपको क्या लगता है? Which verse is that? Which Srila Prabhupada spent so much of energy. 35 times he discussed about this shloka. Which one is it? I've enabled chat. You can go ahead. 14th. Okay, not bad. 15. कैसे तो 1 to 30 सारे नंबर आ जाएंगे. 4 answers here and all 4 are incorrect. सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य doesn't come in 7th chapter, it comes in 18th chapter. लेकिन सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य के ऊपर भी इतना लेक्चर नहीं दिया प्रभुपाद ने जितना कि इसमें दिया है. 7 now. ऐसे तो आ ही जाएगा, 30 आइटम्स में आ ही जाएंगे सारे. 1 to 30 लिख दो. Okay, I'll give it to you. This is the first shloka. देखा, one की वैल्यू नहीं है. What is this? It's the very first shloka. Because this particular shloka explains about the process. It explains about a very important limbo process. And I did speak about it, but I'm going to go in depth in this particular session. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Maya Saktamanaha Partha Yogam Yunjanmadashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yata Jnasasi Tachruno. Hari Hari. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." Hare Krishna. So the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita ends with Lord Krishna telling who is the best yogi. Sometimes people come and ask me that, Prabhuji, भगवद गीता में बहुत सारे योग बताए भगवान ने, और आपके हिसाब से सबसे बेस्ट योग कौन सा है? I said, why मेरे हिसाब से? Lord Krishna has clearly spoken which is the best yoga. And which is the best yoga? Lord Krishna says, बताइए. You again disable chat? Let us not disable the chat. Let them go ahead. Yes, without a doubt, unanimous decision, Bhakti Yoga. Correct. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatir antaratmanah Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo matah. So in the 6.47, 6th chapter, 47th verse, Lord Krishna clearly states that the best yogi is Bhakti yogi. The best yogi is Bhakti yogi. That's very clear. So Bhakti yoga is the best yoga. So if you really want to know what is Bhakti yoga, it is very important that all of us know this sloka. So the 7th chapter explains what is Bhakti yoga. Otherwise, sometimes people come and ask, ये ISKCON, 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 इसके जैसा कौन? Yeah, इसके जैसा कौन? ISKCON. So what is the full form of this ISKCON? Then we tell them, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. International, yeah, we understand. हर जगह जो रहता है पूरी दुनिया भर में इंटरनेशनल सोसाइटी, यहाँ हम भी सोसाइटी में रहते हैं, करेक्ट? सोसाइटी फॉर ओके, कृष्णा, या वी नो कृष्णा, पीपल से कॉन्शियसनेस. What is this Krishna consciousness? How many of you had this doubt? What is Krishna consciousness? Yes. Now you don't have. You all know what is Krishna consciousness. Very nice. Good. If you know, it's very good. Credit goes to teacher. नहीं मजाक कर रहा हूँ. Just telling. Just telling all of you. So people ask, what is this Krishna consciousness? Is on. कोई बात नहीं. Another thing people say is Krishna consciousness मतलब ISKCON मतलब is your Krishna consciousness on? आपका Krishna consciousness on है या off है? People ask, is KC on or is KC off? So is Krishna consciousness on? That is ISKCON. Okay. So what is this Krishna consciousness? So this particular shloka explains what is Krishna consciousness. And that is why Srila Prabhupada explained it 35 times in different lectures. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So Lord Krishna himself wants to explain Bhakti Yoga. So it's a very beautiful verse. But you will understand this verse if you go behind. Thoda piche se jaye to you will definitely understand. So first Lord says, Tachrunu. Sorry, went ahead. I was trying to annotate. I'll stop, disable all other annotations. And I will do some annotations, definitely. Yeah. So this is the first thing that he says, Tachrunu. Hear from me. So our process starts with hearing. Hearing means Shravanam. Shravanam. And that's what you're doing. All of you sitting here are doing Bhakti. And the process of Bhakti that you're doing right now is called Shravanam. Shravan means to hear. There is another Shravan Kumar. Remember? That boy who took care of parents, Shravan Kumar. So he was named based on what? Based on the process of hearing. And Bhakti Yoga begins with this process of hearing. So there are so many people, yes, who go to different temples of Lord. There are so many Divyadeshams, there are so many temples of Lord. They do so many pujas, they do so many vratas, they do so many yajnas, lekin still they are not able to be Krishna conscious. Why? Because Krishna consciousness starts with hearing. Sunki. And that too, hearing from where? Hearing from a devotee who's coming in the Guru Parampara. Yes. How many of you heard pravachans? There are so many channels. Yes. There are channels. There are so many. You switch on TV, there are some or the other pravachans going on by some Baba or some Yogi Maharaj. Somebody is giving some of the other pravachans. Yes. So after those pravachans, what happened? After those pravachans, aaj kya anand ki jaye, khatam. Switch off the TV and continue what you're doing. So there is a lot of information you may get, but there is no transformation. So Shravanam means we just don't get information, but we are inspired for transformation. That is Shravanam. And when does the okay, only ISKCON channels. That's what we are very good. But before coming, yes, so we need to understand that those pravachans were not convincing. Yeah, that is because they tell you how to enjoy in this world nicely. Nobody will tell you how to get out of this world. This world is not, this is not a hotel, this is a hospital. This is not meant for enjoyment, this is meant to get out. So that truth is spoken only by devotees of Krishna. Correct? So Shravanam means to hear for one's transformation and not information. If you're just hearing for information, you will get information, you will not get transformation. So Shravanam means what? To hear for transformation, for inner transformation, which means after hearing, there has to be some change. Yes. How many of you, I want to ask, after every lecture of ours, either from the first chapter onwards, You got one take-home point to apply. Mila? Good. Then you are hearing for transformation. Nahi mila, so then will you have to start hearing like that. Okay, always Prabhuji. Very nice. Thank you. So you're getting a point for transformation. That means you're getting an application point which I'm going to change. I'm either going to change my perception, I'm going to change my conception, I'm going to change my lifestyle, I'm going to change my scripts of life, I'm going to change my practices, I'm going to change my habits. Some kind of change definitely has to be there. That then you have done Shravanam. Yes, very good. I want to be consistent. That's a very nice value. Consistency. Yes, consistency always pays off. Consistency is called Satatam, and Krishna glorifies this word consistency multiple times in the Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is all about consistency only, in one sense. Your habit of asking us our points makes it more clear for us. Yes, that's when you are doing introspection. Nirikshanam, Atma Nirikshanam. You're doing self-introspection. Because unless we do self-introspection, points kahin dab jayenge. You hear it, it goes out from here. So before it goes out from here, you have to take it out from here, or at least take it out from here. So somewhere it has to be there, right? Okay, nice. So you're setting out very good goals. Regular Mangalarti and chanting in Brahma Muhurta 2022. I stopped correcting people and going mad at someone who doesn't want to understand. Nice. So good changes. Very nice. So you are all hearing for transformation, not just for information. Coming back, that's to know. When you hear, what happens? When you hear, you receive not just mundane knowledge, but you get not just information, but you receive something which is yatha jnasasi, which means you develop knowledge. Jnasasi means knowledge. So you don't develop information. If that information is meant for transformation, that is called knowledge. So you get jnana. And the result of this jnana is that you give up sinful habits. When can one say I've received jnana? A person who has received jnana will never ever turn to sinful habits. He will never ever turn to sinful activities. If a person is turning towards sins repeatedly, means he has not received jnana yet. So jnana. So the effect of hearing is jnana has to awaken. Okay, what happens if jnana awakens? Uske baad kya? What next? If you get jnana, one obvious thing that will happen is you are going to be free from all doubts. Asamshayam samagram mam. You will be asamshayam. Samshayam means what? Samshayam means always doubting. We already discussed about these three. Agnyascha, ashraddha dhanascha, samshayatma vinashyati. 4th chapter, 40th verse. We discussed that, right? I become more silent. I feel I'm getting more connected to truth and craving to know more. Very nice. So that will happen only when your doubts go away. There are so many doubts we have. So many doubts. I met one person. I said, yes, how was your experience? He said, Prabhuji, I really literally have to come to you, stay with you in your ashram, and I have to spend at least 1 week. तब मेरे doubts जाएंगे. मैंने बोला भाई ऐसा मत करना. No 1 week of सीधी बात Prabhuji के साथ. One session. So rather than that, what you do is start cultivating knowledge. When a person asks me doubt, I put them to the process of cultivating knowledge. Because even Srila Prabhupada said, what will your 2 minutes of preaching accomplish? No, what will your 2 minutes of preaching do? Connect them to my books. Because that is how they get in touch with the process. Let Prabhupada speak to them. Yes. So normally when a person asks doubt, I have seen one fellow, this guy is very, very cunning fellow. This guy asks me the same question on different occasions in the same manner. वही question पूछेगा. And same question he will go and ask another 10 people. वही question. इसका मतलब क्या? इसका मतलब ये कि this fellow is not willing to accept the process of knowledge. Our doubts don't go away. Yes, our doubts will go away when we get satisfying answers, but that's on the level of intellect. Tad buddhyas, tad atmanam, tannishtha, tat parayanaha. Remember, we discussed these 4 things in 5th chapter, 17th verse. So we need to understand this very clearly. हमें समझना चाहिए कि asamshaya samagrammam will happen when we accept the process of knowledge. And just like one of you just said, that I would like to be consistent. Himani Khanna ji, she mentioned, I would like to be consistent, Prabhuji. Consistent to come to the classes, consistent to the program of hearing, consistent to chanting. This is the process of knowledge, to be consistent, satatam. If you are not consistent at something, well, then it's like going for a bodybuilding workshop and getting all varieties of biceps, triceps, abs, and everything. And then after 1 month, course is over. Okay, go to your favorite food joints and khao piyo ash karo. Body gayi hai, body puri gayi. Hare Krishna, it's all gone. Body is completely gone. So we don't do that. It has to be continuous. So that is when asamshaya samagramma, you become free from doubts. Otherwise, what happens? Just like on our several things, we all clean up our homes every day, right? Yes, because dust comes. That's the nature of this world. Things are going to be, the laptop is going to get dusty, your camera is going to get dusty, your table is going to be dusty, your floor is going to be dusty, everything is going to be dusty. We need to regular cleaning. Similarly, this world has a tendency to cover your knowledge with doubts. And that is why it is important to regularly come in contact with Divya Gyan and discover that doubt. उसको निकालना, उसको साफ सफाई करना. जिस प्रकार से घर की साफ सफाई करती है, उसी प्रकार से मन की साफ सफाई भी जरूरी है. It's very important we clean up those doubts. Otherwise, doubts will keep sticking. And there are certain doubts which are like gandi mail, जो आसानी से जाती नहीं है. Yes, there are certain strains which don't go away so easily with broom or mopping. You need something like kerosene, dry cleaning, very heavy duty stuff. So some doubts are like that. For that, we need a very, very strong Jnana program. Okay. Then what happens when your doubts are gone? Then what do? Then you become Mad Ashraya. You take more shelter of Krishna. Yes. Doubts are gone. You take more shelter of Krishna. One of the reasons why many of you feel connected to the classes which are going on is because many of our doubts are getting solved. Isn't it true? Yes. Correct. बहुत सारे doubt जो आते हैं वो निकल जाते हैं. And that's why another thing that I've seen in the Siddhi Bat show, I've seen some names. Of course, I've not seen their forms because I don't get to see. We have an app where I only get to see Biplav Prabhu, but I've seen certain names who come regularly asking a lot of questions. Yes, they leave a comment below. I've seen so many names. And these are the names who are continuing. They've taken ashray of that program. They've taken shelter of that program. Why? Because their doubts are getting dissolved. They're getting resolved. And that is when we take shelter. जब हमारा doubt निकल जाते हैं, तो they take shelter. And doubts solve नहीं होते, we find that a person will not come in the next class. हम अगले class में नहीं आएंगे प्रभु जी. हमारा doubt solve नहीं हुआ. So sometimes I've seen in a youth program once what happened when I was a very young preacher. I was giving a program. There was a guy who asked a question. I tried to answer. His head might have been convinced, but his mind was not convinced. So he left. I asked the other boys, what happened to that boy who used to come? He said, no, Prabhuji, he's not coming. I told him that maybe his doubt is not solved. Contact him. Then somehow they got him his phone number. I spoke to him and I gave him a Srila Prabhupada book. He read that book. He started coming back to the classes. Why? Because his doubt got solved. Then he started taking shelter of the program, shelter of the association. Mada Ashraya. Similarly, we take more shelter of Krishna when our doubts go away. Mada Ashraya. And then when you do Mada Ashraya, what happens? Oh, that is when you are Yogam Yunjan. You're connected to Krishna. Yogam Yunjan. Yogam Yunjan means you're connected. And even today's Bhagavad Gita verse that we discussed, हमने जो चर्चा की थी Bhagavad Gita रसमालयम में, वो भी Yoga Yunjita. Same thing. It's the same thing. Same verb. Yunjan, Yunjita is the same verse. We're just discussing a half an hour back about this. To be connected to Krishna. So that connection remains. Madhusudana, Lord's name, correct. Just like he killed Madhu. Madhu means ignorance. Madhu is ignorance. So he killed Madhu, like that he kills the doubts. That's why Krishna is called as Madhusudana, Arisudana, repeatedly by Arjuna. So Yogam Yunjan, you take shelter. And after you take shelter, you're connected to Krishna. You take shelter, you're connected. Okay. And then that connection, how it will help? That connection will make you Maya Sakta Mana Partha, which is Maya Sakta. This is called Krishna consciousness. Got it? When you are, your mind is attached to Krishna, Asakti. Asakti means attachment. So this kind of attachment. When you know you're attached to something, you'll know you're attached to something when the thing is taken away from you. Suppose I'm attached to this box. Of course, ये box तो पड़ा हुआ है यहाँ पे. But somebody takes it away. Hey, where is that box? किधर गया वो? किधर है? Where is it? So when something is taken away from you, then you realize your attachment. Yes, just like the parents. Yeah, they love the child, but they don't. They see the child every day. But one day the child goes to hostel. College is somewhere else, goes to hostel, then they realize there is something very integral is missing. Arey, हमारा बच्चा missing है. So that is attachment when it's taken away. Mobile, हाँ, mobile घूम जाता है, दिमाग घूम जाता है हमारा. अरे मेरा मोबाइल घूम गया. रोजी चैट हरे अरे क्या चैटिंग मोबाइल घूम गया मेरा. Why? Attachment. That's called attachment. When something is taken away from you, you feel it. Similarly, anytime Krishna consciousness means, even for a second, for a split second, if there is no thought of Krishna, immediately we are worried. I did not think of Krishna that time. So a person wants to be always conscious of Krishna. Mai asakta mana. And if man is little bit away, he starts feeling something's wrong. Nahi, kuch to gadbad hai. Please, no, I have to come back. Yeah. Now I'm fine. I'm with Krishna, I'm fine. Yes. So that's what. Without Shunnaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahinami. That's what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells. This world is nothing but a big zero without Govinda, Krishna. It's as though somebody has put me into a desert. A desert sometimes, like you see the Sahara Desert. Sahara Desert. It is said there are so many people who tried to cross the Sahara Desert, but they got mad. Pagal ho gaye wo, wahan pe ghum ke. Many of them ended up eating their own flesh, drinking their blood and died. Because koi dur tak kuch nahi mil raha tha. So a thought without Krishna for a devotee is like getting into Sahara Desert and lost there in nowhere. That is Krishna consciousness. Mai asaktamana. He doesn't want to leave Krishna at any point of time. So we discussed the process of Krishna consciousness that reveals full knowledge. And knowing Krishna in full, this is the process. Yes. So ultimately, mind attached to Krishna, it begins with hearing. So continue your hearing. And hearing is the first of the 9 limbs of Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnum, Smaranam, Badasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. These are the 9 limbs. And the first and foremost is Shravanam. Okay. And we should hear from pure devotees of Krishna. That is the only way to understand Krishna. All right, next verse. This is very, very, very exciting verse. So you will all love this, because now you may ask a question, Prabhuji, how to be conscious of Krishna? Yes, how to be conscious of Krishna practically, Prabhuji? Because हम देखते हैं कि हम लोग जो है भौतिक संसार में जीते, भौतिक जीवन में जीते. Can you give us some tips, some pointers of how we can be conscious of Krishna on a practical level? You want to hear this? सुनना है? तो please type हरि बोल in the chat. जितने हरि बोल होंगे उतने इंटेंसिटी के साथ मैं बताऊंगा. हरि बोल, 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 जय. Very nice. चलो, I'll tell you. This is a beautiful shloka. Rasohamapsu kaunteya prabhashmi shashi suryayoh pranavah sarva vedesho shabdah ke paurusham drushu. Hare Krishna. This is a way to see practically Krishna everywhere. Translation: O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras, and I am the sound in ether and ability in man. So Krishna is giving us practical tips. Our body is made of 70% water. Somebody may say, मैंने खाना नहीं खाया, लेकिन पानी जरूर पिएगा. Everybody drinks. How many of you drink water? Yes, we all drink water. रोज पीते हैं. अरे रोज पीते हैं. Every day we drink water. That's what Krishna is saying. So we don't realize this, but actually water has a very, very soothing taste. And you can feel that especially when you're thirsty. How many of you done निर्जल fasting कभी life में? बिना कुछ खाए पिए किए व्रत fasting किए? Okay. And जब भी, I'll give you a tip. It's very important. When you have done निर्जल fasting, do not directly go for eating. ना, कभी नहीं करना चाहिए. No. The first thing you're supposed to do is sip some water. And that is the time you will actually taste. Arey, water itna tasty hota hai kya? Wow. I get this experience once in every 15 days in the Ekash. Little bit water you should take, Manoj ji. Pehle water, फिर उसके बाद no lemon juice, ginger juice, ginger water, ginger गुड़ के साथ मिला हुआ, at least 1 glass. वो नहीं है तो lemon juice. Yes, hot ginger water with good. We all take after Nirjala Ekadashi. That's how. Little bit water, and then you have to drink this ginger juice. क्या होता है? Then your stomach, which is contracted because of fasting, it expands again and regains its shape. You directly eat after fasting, you are going to go sick. You really will be sick. बीमारी आ जाएगी, सब बीमारी आ जाएगी. Directly after fasting, no feasting. Fasting के बाद आराम से गाड़ी 5th gear में start करते हैं क्या? नहीं ना? You slowly raise the gears. Similarly, slowly you should raise the speed. You don't directly go to एकदम चलो पनीर गुलाब जामुन पूरी कड़ी सब मिलके टूट पड़ो जलेबी रबड़ी सब एक साथ. No, that's a disaster. Don't do that. So you drink the water, especially after fasting, you'll realize that, wow, water has such wonderful taste. And what is the taste? The taste is Krishna. Krishna says, I am the taste behind water. If the water wasn't tasty, we wouldn't drink. We would never drink water. So any liquid that we consume, milk, yes, milk is also having a taste. So Krishna is saying that any liquid you consume, because you have to live on liquids. Our body is 70% liquids. We need water. The taste in that liquid is me. So every time we drink water, Raso Hamapsu Kaunte, that taste is Krishna. Can't we remember Krishna that time? Yes, we can. The water is so tasty because there is Krishna. How many of you drunk distilled water? Piya kisi ne distilled water? You vomited after that? Definitely. इसमें कोई taste नहीं रहता. So distilled water is removing Krishna from water. Of course, you can't remove Krishna from anything, but the potency of Krishna is removed there. No, I've heard this only in science. Huh? I have not experienced distilled water. The point is the water is tasty. So every time we drink water, we can think of Krishna now. In fact, some of the centers that we have, there the sloka is pasted. Yes, in front of the mirror it's pasted. You are seeing who you are not. You are not the body or soul. Likha hota hai wahan pe. And in water can, it's Raso Hamapsu Kaunteya. The taste of water is Krishna. It's kept there. And near the light, Prabhashmi Sasi Suryayo. The next statement. Now we may say that, come on. Krishna says, okay, water we drink. Where else can we remember Krishna? Pani pine ke बाद काम करने को जाना होता है ना. हाँ, Prabha Asmi. I am the light of Shashi Suryayo. First, Krishna is talking about Kali Yuga's night shift fellows. तो हम तो डे शिफ्ट में नहीं, हम नाइट शिफ्ट में चलेगा. पहले शशि. So that's why first he's telling I'm the light of the moon. Yes, now you can see our session. You see outside the sky is lit up. When there is Amavasya, there's no light. There's absolutely no light. On the other hand, when there is a Purnima, there's full light that is there. So the light which comes from the moon, from the luminaries, all of it is given by Krishna. And in fact, our tube lights that we are having is all are lit up, all rooms. There is nobody dark like this. Dark room nahi hai. Light hai. That's all because the source of all light is the sun and the moon. So Prabhasmi, when you're going out for work, the next day you see sun. Or you see moon. If you're a night shift fellow, then you see moon. Kuch nahi, sun ya moon, isme se ek dekhna hi padega roz. Just by looking out in the daytime, we can understand sun is there. So Prabha Asmi. So you need to understand Krishna has given light. If we want to lit up a room, we need to put, कुछ लोग बोलते हैं ब्रोजी lighting कम है. So 1, 2, 3, whenever we have shooting, right? Or I am doing my shooting, हर जगह light लगा देते लोग. They put light everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, वहाँ पर इतने light. Then Krishna wants to lit up the whole universe. He just puts one bulb. What is that? Sun. One sun and the entire universe is lit up. And sometimes in night time, how many of you don't sleep in pitch dark? We need some night light. Ideally, it's recommended. We should never sleep in pitch dark. There has to be a small night lamp, bluish in color, which is very good for you. We should never sleep pitch dark. It's not recommended. So a small night bulb. So that's why Krishna also has kept small night bulb, moon. And somebody likes design also, design. So he's kept stars. So many stars. Nice design. So we should see that and we see the hand of Krishna. Prabhasmi Sasi Suryo. And Pranas Sarva Vedeshu. Of course, in Vedic times, everybody would read Vedas. That's why it's called Vedic times. Life was basis of Vedas. Still, In some South India's temples or some South Indian homes, I remember when I used to be going to I stayed in South India for a long time. 15 years I stayed in Chennai, and most of my schooling happened in Chennai, then in Delhi. There was a great difference, culture shock, bada difference tha. So when I would go in Chennai, Shantakaram Bhujakasayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwanaram. So slokas used to be going on. So after everything, Om, Om used to be there. So without Om, there is no mantra. Any Rig Veda, you take a Samaveda mantra, Yajurveda mantra, any mantra, always there is Om. So who is that Om? Om is Krishna. Krishna is saying that Pranava, that Om is me. So you want to recite any mantras, you want to do any yajnas, कुछ भी करना है आपको ओम लगता ही है, बिना ओम के नहीं होता. आजकल लोग भी ओम यूज करते हैं, कहाँ पे? गृह प्रवेश में. So when you are there, they have a very nice symbol Om. So some or the other people use it. And Krishna is saying, that's me. Om is my, what is Om? It's my logo. Krishna says, that's my logo. Tata Motors has a logo. Toyota has a logo. Mahindra and Mahindra have a logo. Similarly, Krishna has logo. What is Krishna's logo? Om. So that is Krishna's logo. So next time we see Om, yes, we can remember Krishna. That's Krishna's logo. Pranavah sarva vedeshu. And Shabda Ke. Now, what do we hear about sound in the physics? We hear about compressions and rare fractions, right? Ultimately, they don't create sound. Compression, rare fractions, and all this stuff. Kuch bhi bolo. Who is doing the compression? Who is doing the rare fraction? Is Krishna. Shabda Ke. Because of me, the sound is able to get propelled in ether. Sound travels in the sky because of me. Because of Krishna. See, now you may say because of technology, the sound is generated here. But who is propelling the sound? The sound ko aage kaun badha raha hai? Krishna says, I. Because if Krishna was not there, that is because Krishna took it. देखा, सब लोग शॉक हो गए एकदम. तो भगवान नहीं होते तो क्या होता? हरि बोल. So we should see the hand of Krishna everywhere. So if Krishna does this mute, भगवान ने म्यूट कर. So Krishna is the one who presses the unmute button. प्रभु जी अनम्यूट कीजिए. वो अनम्यूट जब तक वो प्रभु जी नहीं करेंगे ना, कुछ नहीं होता है. ठीक है? Yes. My God. We have one more shloka left. क्या करें? आगे बढ़े? We'll pause for questions and comments. Audience poll. बताइए क्या करना चाहिए? Yes, प्रभु जी समझ में नहीं आता क्या है? Yes, stop to go. Okay, there's a comment by Megha Mishra ji. Says, I checked my phone 4 times to see what happened. Yeah, see. Continue, carry on. Please, okay, we'll take one more shloka and then we'll conclude. One more shloka, sure. So we understand Krishna is essence of everything. You can even see Krishna as a smell of the earth. Punyo gandha prativyamcha. Anything, any light. Tejas chasmi vibhavaso. Jivanam sarvabhuteshu, the life of everything. Tapas chasmi tapasvishu. The ability, any talent, any special feature, it's all distinct feature. They all are in Krishna. So he's the essence and cause of everything. This is what the section teaches. Okay. Now last thing. Now here we are going to understand the difference between Bhagavan and Devata. So we all know Devata, Devata. Some people come and ask, kitne Bhagwan hai? How many gods are there? Please tell us. Kitne Bhagwan hai? So we tell them there is one Bhagwan. But there are many Devatas. And Devatas are assistants of God. So this shloka will clarify that very clearly. So Lord Krishna is saying, Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavatyalpamedasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Translation. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. So very Wonderful words. Antavattu phalam. Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamed. First of all, alpa buddhi. Those who are of less intelligent, they will go to demigods. Can you give some examples of demigods? Demigods means devata. You will call Indra, Chandra, Aruna, Vayu, Kali, Durga, Shiva, even Shiva, Brahma. They are all devatas. They are worshipped by less intelligent people. Alpamedasa. Why Krishna you are calling them Alpamedasa? Why less intelligence? ऐसा क्यों बोलते हैं आप? Two reasons Krishna gives. First of all, their fruits are limited. वो आपको full access नहीं दे पाएंगे. Their fruits are very limited. How do we understand that their fruits are limited? We need to understand that when you go to demigod to ask something, किसी देवता से आप पूछते हैं मुझे कृपया दीजिए, the demigods don't create you know what the demigods do? I'll tell you. The demigods can do only two things. जो आपका अच्छा कर्म आपको बाद में मिलने वाला होता है ना, वो आपको अभी दे देंगे, और जो बुरा कर्म आपको आज मिलने वाला चाहिए था उसको 10 दिन बाद कर देंगे. That's all the demigods can do. So your own karma, which you are supposed to get, the good karma, they can accelerate and they can delay the bad karma. These are the only two things. They cannot create good karma. They cannot destroy bad karma. ये दो चीज देवता नहीं कर सकते. Do you understand? Suppose a person, I'll give an example. A person is working in a company and he has joined the company on 1st of February 2022. So every day his salaries, so his monthly salaries, February में 28 दिन ही है, फिर भी चलो, let's assume 30,000. That means per day 1,000, 1,000. And today is 8th of February and he's finished his work and come. And today he has a desire. He has a desire to get some money. So what devatas will do? He goes to devata. Today, if he wants to withdraw money, maximum he can withdraw 8,000. Of course, system वो नहीं है. System is you can only get at the end of the month. But devatas can help you. ठीक है, क्या है? थोड़ा चाहिए मेरे को. थोड़ा रिश्वत है वो. Actually is giving रिश्वत. Worshipping demigod is giving रिश्वत. मेरा फाइल पास कर दीजिए ना. ठीक है. कितना चाहिए? 5,000 दे दो ना. ठीक है, 5,000 ले लो आज. ठीक है, तुम रिश्वत दिया, 5,000 ले लो. So you do the Dev Puja, 5,000 you will get today. But at the end of the month, how much you will get? 25,000. Because 5,000 पहले ही मिल गया ना. वो कम हो जाएगा वहां से. Understood this logic? Now second logic. Now suppose देवता के पास जाते हैं, बोलते मुझे 10,000 दे दो ना. देवता बोले सॉरी, नॉट पॉसिबल, क्योंकि 8 दिन ही काम किया तुमने. मैक्सिमम वी कैन गिव यू 8. वी कांट गिव यू 10. So 8,000 ही मिलेगा. So limited. This is why it's limited. Understood this? One example of this is Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu went to Brahma and said, मुझे अमर बना दो. Brahma laughed. With 4 heads he was laughing. 4 सिर के साथ laughing. बोलो क्यों हंस रहे हो? Brahma said one very deep thing. I myself am not immortal. When this universe ends, I will also die. So if I am not immortal, how can I make you immortal? तुमको कैसे मैं जो हो अमर बना सकता हूँ? मैं खुद अमर नहीं हूँ. Limited. Got this? Limited? Yes. This is first thing. Their blessings are always limited. Number 2, they're temporary. Permanent नहीं होता. One example. You all know the story of Holika. Holika. Who was Holika? Type करो. Sister. किसकी? Only sister written. Who is sister? Prahlad Maharaj Bhua. Correct. Sister of Sis of Hiranyakashipu. Very nicely written. Sis of Hiranyakashipu. She had a boon. What boon did she have? What was her boon? क्या आशीर्वाद मिला था हिरण्यकशिपु की बहन को? Agni cannot harm her, fire cannot burn her. But how did she die? How did she die? कैसे मरी वो? By fire. Thank you. Got it, no? So she died. She had a boon that she will not die. She will never be burned by fire, but she died by burning in fire. How? Hare Krishna. Thank you. This is what happens. It's temporary. Yes, this is temporary. All benedictions are temporary for some time only. उसके बाद चला जाता है. They cannot give permanent benediction. There was one person called Jayadrat. You heard of this name? Sindhu Narjit Jayadrat. Jayadrat was humiliated by Bhima and all Pandavas. They had removed his hair. उसको जो है ऐसे टकला कर दिया था. He got very angry. मैं बदला लूंगा. So he did Shiva Upasana. And after doing Shiva Upasana, Shiva came. And he asked, what do you want? He said, I will kill the 5 Pandavas. I will give me benediction. I want to kill all 5 Pandavas. Shiva laughed. He said, even I can't do it. Tu kaun sa hai aadmi? They are protected by Krishna, my master. He said, theek hai. Give me a benediction that I will, whenever I fight with Pandavas, I'll defeat them. He said, not possible. He said, theek hai. Give me a benediction once I can defeat all Pandavas. Shiva said, all right. You can defeat once all Pandavas, only once, ek bari. But Arjuna, you cannot defeat. You can defeat all other 4 Pandavas. So what is this? Temporary benediction. They can only for some time. Again, it's something which is similar to limited, but at the same time, it's for a temporary clause. So Jayadratha could once stop the 4 Pandavas from entering into the Chakravyuh. That's it. So yeah, Duryodhana's brother-in-law, Bil, B-I-L, brother-in-law. So that is this thing. So you need to understand here, Devan Deva. So you worship demigod, Devan Deva Yajoyanti. You go to Devalok. And that is also temporary. Some may say, Arey, main Indra ki upasana karuga, Swarg jaunga. Yes. Maximum time you can go to Swarga is 10,000 years. Bas. Uske baad, Shine Punya Marte Lokam Vishanti. Khatam. That is how it's temporary. You can go to Shivalok, you can go to Indralok, Chandralok, Varunlok, but that is temporary. After some time, you have to come back to Prithvilok and create new karma. So that's not permanent. But Yan Mad Bhakta Yanti Mamapi. Once you go to Krishna, you go back home, back to Godhead, there is nothing coming back. There is no coming back. Okay. All right. So there are some questions in chat. We'll be taking chat questions. Kalyan Prabhu, if you wish to type in chat, you can type. Time is limited. I want to quickly answer some questions. You can type. I want to answer many questions quickly. Durin Prabhu, make it fast.
Marish ji ka ek purana pehle ka question tha, that is Om position of Krishna ji or Krishna ji himself?
I'm sorry?
Is Om position of Krishna ji or Krishna ji himself? Like what
Om is a sound representation of Krishna. You write Om, that can represent Krishna. In Akshar Brahma it is called. Next.
Prabhuji, if you can discuss about like Kul Devata and Kul Devi in that context of demigod.
Yeah, some of them have a Kula Dharma. There is a dharma called Kula Dharma, but much more superior to Kula Dharma is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is your relationship with Krishna. That's much superior. Because ultimately Kula Devi is also a devotee of Krishna only. So you can definitely, when you pray to Kula Devas, you can pray. You can pray to Kuldev, you can pray to all demigods, but to them you ask for Krishna Bhakti. Pray for the right thing. Dhruva, he prays to Kuver for Krishna Bhakti. Then he comes. So to demigods, you can ask for Krishna Bhakti. They will give you. Because they are also devotees. Okay.
All right, thank you. That answered the next question itself about like praying to demigod for creating an environment for Krishna Bhakti.
Yes, perfectly we can. Because demigods help us. See, our ability to see comes from whom? From Surya. Surya Devi is helping us. Our ability to hear comes from Dig Devatas. They are helping us. Our ability to speak comes from Agni. Is helping us. Our ability to taste objects comes from Varuna. Our ability to breathe comes from Ashwini Kumar. So we are all dependent on demigods. We can never say that I have nothing to give and take with demigods. Asking material desires from demigods is Alpa Buddhi. Because they are temporary, they are limited. But you can, if you pray to demigods, next time you see Shiva temple, hey, Shiva, kaun hai ye? No, we do respect. We respect and ask for Krishna Bhakti. Correct? That's the right attitude.
Next question by Marish ji, that is it right to be like Jad Bharat? Like, can you please elaborate on his action and consciousness and talk like in Brahman Yoni?
It is not good to be like Jada Bharat, at least in today's day and age of Kali Yuga. Avadut Vesh. No, one should not. We are in a movement, in a society, it's always good to be like Bharat. I don't get distracted by deer. But Bharat, it's good to be like Prahlad. It's good to be like Dhruva. We have so many other examples of regular devotees who are not Avadut. We do not have Avadut Vesh. Avadut means who minds his own business. Is Avaduta. So we don't have to be like that. You don't have to be like Jada Bharat. But sometimes situation will demand you to be Jada Bharat, especially you're traveling and the entire atmosphere is materialistic. You're forced to be in a materialistic environment, fully surrounded by materialistic environment. You cannot walk away. Then be like Jada Bharat. So Jada Bharat has to be practiced that time.
Next
Jada
question.
Bharat means blind, dumb, and deaf to materialism. He's called Jada Bharat. Jada. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Roji, for that wonderful definition, understanding. Next question by himself that I have listened from somewhere कि there are two panchangs same as Chandramukhi Panchang and Suryamukhi Panchang. Is it right or like what kind of one?
Where is that question? Okay.
857.
Panchang. I have heard somewhere. Please quote your source. Quote your source of the Panchangas. What are the Angas? You quote it tomorrow. I'll answer deeply.
Next question by Ritika ji that Prabhuji, after going to Indralok, what if we practice bhakti there and then we can go back to Godhead or we have to return back?
We can, but don't aspire to go to Indralok. Go to Golok directly. Don't take stop.
That's a very interesting question by Arya Ambedkar ji. That who started Pravachana? Like how this parampara and this method of
Krishna.
Pravachana started?
Krishna started. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. The what he spoke, Pravachan, that became Veda. There are 4 shlokas, Chatushloki Vedas. So these 4 shlokas he started and he gave the Pravachan to Brahma. Then Brahma Narada Samvad, he gave the Pravachan to Narada. Then Narada gave it to Vyas. Like that, it carried on. And that's how Pravachans became Shastras. Yeah.
Next question by Sneha Chandani ji. Was there one that I can see that why the demigods do not go back to Golok when
Because
they
there's so
were.
much of distraction. So much of distraction in heavenly planet. It's not easy. That's why demigods also want human body, especially in Bharatvarsh, to practice bhakti and go back. And because there are too many distractions, it's not very feasible.
Just to remind Proji, we are already 3 minutes past 9 p.m.
Okay, we'll block the questions. Now, henceforth, no more questions. I'll myself take the questions very quickly. Any Durga temporary benediction example? You find out and tell me. When we know which is right or wrong, then also we commit some mistakes. In fact, Durga temporary example, all material sense gratification is given by Durga only. Na? कौन सा permanent रहता है आपका sense gratification? Which of sense gratification is permanent? Nothing. So they are all given by Durga. When we know which is right or wrong, then also we commit some mistakes due to not control of senses. Then we regret how to handle. Good question. How to handle how to repent. See, there is a difference between lamentation and repentance. Lamentation means you become very sorry, मैं बकवास हूँ, मैं तो बेकार हूँ, मैं किसी के लायक नहीं हूँ, and you go into depression. Repentance means we should have a rectification plan. Yeah. So it is very important we have a plan to rectify our mistakes. So you analyze why I committed the mistakes. And now what should I do so as I don't repeat my mistakes again? So if we have this proper rectification plan, then definitely we will come out of this problem. So we don't regret, we rectify. So have a concrete plan to rectify. Okay. Why demigods are not in Golok when they worship Krishna? I told you, because they want to enjoy and they want to go to Krishna also. वो इधर भी मजा करना चाहते हैं और भक्ति भी करना चाहते हैं. Such people become demigods. So they are karma mishra bhaktas. They are bhaktas, but they also have desires in this world. Then they get that position. Position of Shiva among Devi Devata. Shiva Tattva is different actually. Shiva Tattva is neither Jiva. All other demigods are Jivas actually. Indra, Chandra, Varuna, even Brahma is a Jivatma, like all of us. But Shiva is not a Jiva. He's in between Jiva and Ishvara, is Shiva. Normally we see Om related to Mahadev. Is it? Not necessarily. Om comes before every demigod also. Om Indraya Swaha Idam Namamaha. Because even to reach the demigod, to reach Shiva, you need Om. So without Krishna's connection, Krishna is the service provider. उसके बिना उनके बिना जो है nothing will reach them also. So you need to know service provider, no? कौन है? धन्यवाद प्रभुजी, भगवान demigod's answer is so clearly explained. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Vani Bhagavad Gita ki